Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody.
And we're back. I know we say that every fucking week, but we actually are.
We are. We had a couple of weeks off just to get some gaming done and some life admin, but we are back and we've got a good episode for you today. T is going to review The Last of Us.
That's it.
Part 1, and I'm going to throw my shade at the second season of the TV show while he goes through it. And I'm going to give you the first impressions of Alters.
How good. Yeah, I've been fucking struck down with the flu as well. I don't know how my voice is going to sound on podcast setting.
Sounds all right. But was it COVID?
I don't know. I didn't even bother with a rat.
Chlamydia? What was it?
What the fuck is your obsession with chlamydia? No, it was not chlamydia.
I don't know if it's an obsession.
I don't know what the
symptoms. Throw like a curveball at you. See if you're on form today.
I don't know what the symptoms of chlamydia are, but I don't know how closely attuned they are to the influenza.
If it's causing you to cough, then yeah.
My cock has a cold.
You're a really severe case.
No, I just fucking... Oh, mate, it started on Monday, went to work. I work from home on Mondays. Working from home Monday, and I had that little tickle in the throat, right? And it kind of worsened throughout the day. I was like, I hope this is like a colder weather sore throat thing, right? And then by Monday night, I knew that I was getting sick, and it just floored me. I don't think it was COVID. I think it was just the flu, but oh man, a couple of days there, just bedridden, fucking muscle aches.
Do you get the flu shot?
I didn't. I never do.
You never did? Why not?
I don't know. Doesn't the adaptations of the flu make it redundant anyway?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if medical experts are saying every year you got to get the flu shot.
You know what's crazy as well is... Shut up for a second. What's crazy as well...
Wasn't saying anything anyway.
Is you can't go to the doctor when you're sick anymore. So Tuesday, I took the day off. I actually had to take the day off work. I couldn't even work from home. I was pretty bad. Yeah. But then on the Wednesday, I had to say to work, I was like, look, I'm going to have to work from home, and that might be indefinitely at this point. I don't know when
Indefinitely.
I don't know when I'm going to come back, but I don't want to just trudge this illness around the office.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go to the doctor because it seemed at that point pretty chest infection-y.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, oh, have you had a cough or a fever or sore throat and all this for the last couple of days? I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, well, you can't come in.
Yeah.
I was like, when did that happen? When did that happen that you have to go to the doctor after you've been sick and recount your symptoms? It was so weird.
I think a few years back there was a pandemic that triggered maybe a change up to the procedure.
Yeah, but
maybe they wanted telehealth. Maybe they wanted you to dial in.
Where do you draw the line? A hospital's going to be like, nah, you're sick. You can't come here now. I feel at some point you're a frontline worker and you might get sick occasionally.
I think just a GP, because they're not rolling around in scrubs and masks on kind of thing.
It's just so weird. Come and see us when you're ill, but also don't anymore. Don't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, but I mean now with telehealth, that is probably what they're wanting you to do.
Yeah, but I wanted to go there and they listen to the chest and all that type of shit, I don't want to just get called for 7 minutes and pay $150 for someone to give me an antibiotic. That's not going to work.
Yes, you're sick. I've listened to your chest.
I want a fucking investigation here, motherfucker.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It was I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, feeling a lot better, so apologies for the delay. But mate, this is episode 48.
48.
The Evening Gay Bar creeps ever so closer to the 50. To the holy grail of podcasting.
The holy grail of 50. And I hope everyone's enjoying the journey. You're sharing it around. It's continuing to grow. We look at the numbers and it's nice to see it continues to tick up. I sort of always have this theory that because we can see the regions where people listen, and some of it's sort of in Asia, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, wait, is this about to be racist? Hopefully not.
Oh my God.
I feel like maybe you
Isn't that a thought you have? You don't usually say that out loud.
Well, I said it
I think
out
that's
loud.
a thought you have in your head.
Well, the audience can decide. I feel like I got a theory that maybe some people are listening to the pod to help English, to hear sort of colloquial speaking Australians. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or they could just be enjoying the content.
Maybe they just like gaming, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they just like us.
Yeah, that's it. But, this is your first episode, fucking welcome. We are a gaming podcast. We talk about games, review games, gaming news, and the like.
Not that the titles or the bios or anything don't give it away.
And we like to do all of this in the evening. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, it's the only time we got.
It's the only time we got. Yeah, that's it.
So just to sort of off the top jump I'll do Alters first. I'll give my brief on that before you drill into your Last of Us.
I've got some talking points before the review as well. So let's do it.
Okay. So Night Rain they've been shadow dropping. A new boss just came in. Sort of a lot of people still really enjoying it. With all the updates, they kind of keep changing it up. I've ceased playing it, not from any like it's not fun, don't like it. I'm still loving it. The only reason I've stopped playing is just to move on to other games and for the pod basically.
Yeah.
I'm still tempted occasionally to jump back on and play it for a little bit, but nonetheless, fantastic game. Highly recommend it. Worth it. I was chatting to some guys at work basically saying, look, if you enjoy Elden Ring, or hell, even if you don't really enjoy Elden Ring, but you kind of like, the sort of From Software kind of vibes of it all, give it a go. It's a quick adventure. It's a Rick and Morty 40-minute in and out quick adventure.
And I think that's why maybe we've both kind of put it down for the moment, because it doesn't have to consume you.
Yeah.
Like it very much is like, I haven't played Apex in 3 weeks, but I know if I play right after this, it'll be fine. And it's the same with Elden Ring. Like once you've got the gist of how the ring works, what the game's all about, you can jump in and out as you like with mates. It doesn't have to be the only game you play, because the story, let's be honest, there's not much of a storyline. There is, but you're there for the gameplay, which you can do intermittently. So
with sort of Elden Ring and Night Rain, and Night Rain specifically, that model, another game has recently come out called FBC Firebreak, and it's done by the Remedy people who did Alan Wake 2 and Control, which we really enjoyed. But the early reviews for it are not glowing, and I feel like this is going to be a miss from them. I think it's going to be a real flash in the pan, not hold people down. Just because I think as well the timing of when it's come out, we're now probably in a bit of a high time of good games coming out, and I think it's going to get lost in the mix. Even
if you're a diverse gamer, you're going to have to choose pretty stringently what you play, because there's not enough time. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like I was thinking about when the 64 came out, and like or even later, like when the first Xboxes came out, you could play somewhere between 1 to 4 games a year and have an incredible experience. Where now it's like. Yeah. Now it is like fucking every time I log onto the Game Pass or log into Steam, there's a new advertisement for a new game which actually looks pretty enticing. Yeah. You gotta pick a lane.
So I mean, speaking of a new game that's pretty enticing, Alters. So I saw it pop up and I was kind of aware of it, but I was, hadn't really read into it. What's the vibe? I haven't got sort of off the dome who the developer is and where this thing's come from. But I've played it, and I've played like a fair bit of it. I'm sort of towards the end of Act 2 of it. And man, it's different. It's different and it's unique, and that's what makes it good. So you play this character who gets marooned on a planet, and he's got his sort of spaceship kind of thing that's like parked there, but the rest of his crew are dead. And this is sort of the premise. It all gets sort of spoken in the first little bit. And he's got to figure out a way to, survive and get off the planet. So there's a little bit of resource management. There's probably a lot of resource management, sort of building your base, collecting stuff in the sort of in your space chute out in the planet that you're on.
Impending danger or just survival danger?
No, there's impending sort of.
So it's like looter, shooter kind of thing.
No, well, it's not really so much shooting. It's more looting.
Gotcha.
And then there's a timer that's sort of ticking down by days. So you have to manage your time really effectively.
Bro, this sounds like Outer Wilds.
It in a little way, yeah, but obviously Outer Wilds, it's like, the
That's
whole
loopy.
time is developing in different areas, where this is very centralized.
Yeah, gotcha.
But the gimmick of the game is, whilst this is sort of all going on, you, as this character, have to clone yourself to be able to then manage multiple tasks. And every time you clone yourself, you're picking their storyline of the backstory of it. Like it kind of explains in the science of it that they've like done deep research into what was going to be all the people who were going to be on the ship. And on the off chance that you find this special resource, they've got the capacity on that ship to clone people. And it was going to be like a research kind of test or something. I don't know. I didn't read the context of it too much.
Yeah, right.
But each time you clone it, they've all got different stories. So one guy you clone's a doctor. So you as yourself, you're just like a miner or a worker or whatever. And they're the doctor version of you. And then there's the mechanic version of you. Then there's this version of you. And then they all interact with each other. And some of them, get pissed off. Some of them, one's a stoner, one grew up in the deep south, so his voice is completely different, all voiced by the same actor.
How good is that?
And like it's so unique and just a really fun time.
Would it be fair to say that they're the Alters?
There you go. That's hence the name. So like on the flip side of it,
Full
yes,
circle.
it's unique. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's different. I'm enjoying it. I do find myself every time I'm playing it being rather stressed. I'm not a big fan of resource management done to a timing-based system.
Yeah.
And you can game over the game and you can go back one day only, but if you fucked up 3 days ago and you don't know that you're heading towards disaster, then you have to restart the whole game again.
Really?
And I'm not going to be doing that. Like if I get a game over screen, I'm dropping it and I'm not picking it up again.
Yeah, and there are some games that are a bit like that. No Man's Sky initially was a little bit like that in terms of the looting stress, but Subnautica is very much like that.
Yeah. Just any time where you're on a timer to loot. I like going at my own pace, picking where you go and not being bound to, if you don't get this done within this, you're out of time. It just, it annoys me, but that is the gimmick of these kind of games.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I remember when I first started playing No Man's Sky, which is closely aligned with what you're saying, is I started playing on permadeath to start.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that's kind of what it was. Like it was a perpetual survival game.
Yeah.
I didn't really know it had a strong storyline like that when I started playing. And like I remember for like 5 run-throughs in a row, I could not find hydrogen, which is what you use to create like oxygen packets while you're on your first planet. And essentially, if you find enough hydrogen, you have enough time to do anything.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't. And so like for the first 5 permadeaths, I just died. And like that's exactly what you're talking about. Just like that loot stress.
Yeah.
And it takes a particular, you need to be into that.
You do. Yeah. You got to
It needs to be your kind of
game.
Yeah.
So the Switch has also come out, and by and large, the sales of one going rather well. But on the flip side, there's a fair bit of criticism out there of going one. There's not a lot of improvement really within it. The games don't look that much better. The actual sort of build design, the sort of side thingies are not great. And then the controllers themselves, the way that they've placed the thumbs and stuff are
doesn't
always
fit your hand well.
Because they're trying to marry disconnect them to 2-play or have it on.
Yeah.
And you compare it to whatever is the Steam Deck, and that's really well thought out of how you control it. So. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
it seems like they've done the old iPhone upgrade.
A little bit.
You get the new iPhone. You're like, okay, there's like a kind of new camera, and the lock button has changed position. It's kind of like they've done that, and it seems very cash grabby.
And the fact you got to pay surcharges for any game to get the latest upgraded version
is so dumb.
It's just I don't know. And then the Mario Kart, so what was it, $140 or something like that? Like it was pretty expensive.
I feel like they've done it just because it was time to, rather than actually it being a good investment. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like it's been. I think it's coming up to almost 10 years since the Switch came out, right? Or is that? I think it is. Like I think of like Breath of the Wild when that came out. That would have been 16, 17, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's coming up to 10 years since their last console, and I think they're like, let's just do one. And they didn't really have a fresh idea for one. So
I reckon they should have held that Zelda game, Breath of the Wild, the sequel they did, for when this came out. Because that only came out, a year ago?
I think it's like 2 or 3 now.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, I know. The way time's
moving,
bro. Like I remember playing Tears of the Kingdom, at least a couple of years ago now. So I know things move.
But I mean, you know what I mean, though? It needed a marquee game. It needed the draw factor. But also, and I don't think the Mario Kart was sufficient.
No, but also, like, you need to change the product. You can't make almost the same product and just expect people to buy. Like, I mean...
They've really honed in on that.
I don't know how sales are going heaps
style.
well. Like, Switch has found this niche... And look, I have a Switch, but I'm saying if you only have a Switch and you jump to buy the new one, I'm going to go ahead and guess you're either like a parent or a casual gamer or really, really young. You know what I mean? Like if it's your console, you're going to be one of those 3. Because it typically has those older games from Nintendo, easier games to play, games you can play co-op. Like it's not your fucking sweaty keyboard gaming, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that's why sales are going pretty well. But as a standalone product, it does not sell me at all.
Yeah, I'm not, I've got no interest in getting one.
I genuinely may as well just burn $600 like because and keep my Switch.
Yeah.
Because my Switch works absolutely fine now. I've been playing Mario Odyssey on it.
Yeah.
It plays well. If you have a good TV, it actually looks fine. I don't see the need to I don't feel the need to upgrade that console yet.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, until like, I don't know, the game's looking like, yeah, okay, I want to get that. You know, I mean, because I'm on record of going, I bought the bloody PS4 and 5, I think, purely on God of War. Like I wanted to play the new version of those. I enjoyed that series, you know. And it's the same with like the Xboxes of like, oh, the new Halo's coming out.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
They got lots of franchises on their product. Whereas like the Switch is a lot of standalone games or games that are brought onto the Switch after the fact. They don't actually have, you know, apart from maybe Game Freak and the Pokemons and things like that and their OGs, like there's really not much else that's exclusive to it. So I think that whole product's a miss. I'm felt enticed to get it
a little bit like it, but I mean the sales are there, so you know you can't fault the numbers.
What about this? Death Stranding 2 coming out soon.
Yeah.
They announced Grounded 2 as well. I saw it on the Game Pass and I fucking almost fell off my chair. I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing a second one because they were never going to. Yeah. And then they've kept it quiet and they've announced a release date, which is crazy. So
when's the release date? Is it not far off?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, okay.
And I should have Googled it before this, but... No, but
I mean, like the Game Pass is just going from fucking like knocking it out of the park.
I downloaded Dark Ages on it last night and was like, cheers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
Like so good.
And that's like selling for $80, $100. Like, you know, I've dropped that. I'm not going to finish that.
I will finish that and do a review. All right, okay. GTA 6 finally has a release date.
Yeah, I've missed this in the news. I haven't seen this. So what's the release date?
May 26th, 2026.
I wonder if they're going to hold it to that, or are we up for another release?
Well, you know what's funny is that is genuinely a year on from when they pushed it. Yeah. So like they would have announced that around May 26th that they were pushing to 2026. So they've just gone, oh, fucking another 12 months, which means they've extended development here by like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, right. I'm just sort of looking it up as we're talking. And they announced this like back in May. Like,
which is weird. Like, yeah, we kind of miss that, but
interesting.
That makes me beg the question. That begs the question for me: what version of the game were we going to get at the end of this year? Then, if it needed 6 to 8 months, like, is that just crossing T's, dotting I's, or
probably.
Like, is that building up? You know, almost or relying on the inertia of this game coming out a little bit more to boost sales. I don't know.
Nah.
But if it's purely development, then they missed the mark for a release date quite fucking substantially.
I think probably it got to a point where they were deciding, going, we can release it now with a sort of not exactly in a perfect state, you know, or do we hold it, you know, and tighten it all up and get it where it needs to be. But like, you know, the rumor mill, obviously, you know, whether it's legit or not, saying that there's developer crunch time, people stressed out, they hadn't really figured through a story and this and that, which I don't know how much mayo's on that, you know, we'll see.
I think that's the thing.
I think you just got to trust them.
Smoke and mirrors, whatever.
If they release when they release it, you know, I trust they've got the record to do it right and do it well.
Yeah, it is what it is now.
Yeah.
But here's a few things that are coming up in terms of reviews. Here's what I can review in the coming weeks.
Okay, here we go.
So, listener, if you have a preference on any of these games, you fucking let me know.
Let us know.
I can review Death Stranding, Little Nightmares 1 and 2. We can both review It Takes Two. Yep. I can switch over to the Switch and do a Mario Odyssey review.
We really got to do Split Fiction.
I think we've done Split Fiction and we need to do It Takes Two.
I thought we hadn't done it yet.
Let's look back through the episode.
Because I thought we were going to get Ali on to review it with us.
Yeah, I think we will. Doom the Dark Ages as well, I can also review. And Lies of P Overture is out. Working my way through that. So if you want to hear about the DLC to Lies of P.
Is that a full DLC, like, or is it like how much content?
It was like 22 gigabytes.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
it's a fair bit. Nice.
Could be quite extensive, yeah.
Sweet. I've downloaded Fires of Rubicon, Armored Core.
Okay, I'm getting it. It's going to be interesting. I've played about 5 to 10 hours of it.
Yeah, I remember you saying, and I was surprised you didn't sort of stick with it because, you know, it's a From Software, you know, it's sort of your cup of tea. But anyway, I'll give it a go. It's sort of one of our listeners, Don Dathian, has recommended it and rates it. So I'll give that one a go.
I'd happily download that again and we both played at the same time. Maybe we do some co-op missions if that's possible.
I don't know if that is possible.
I don't think it is either.
No. But I've also downloaded, Dark Space, the rejigged, updated one.
Yeah.
Just because the missus enjoys watching me play horror games. She really enjoyed watching me play Alan Wake 2, and apparently the Altars is not doing it for her.
Oh, shit.
She sits on the couch.
That's right, you got to please the crowd now.
Yeah, I do have to please the crowd. I'm sitting on the couch playing it, and she'll just be like, you know, geez, all this game is
just heckling you?
Managing relationships of yourself. Like,
you don't.
how is
she
this
goes,
fun?
Oh my God, you noob.
Well, she occasionally does give me the get good attitude, which doesn't have drive me up the wall after I get pied in a fight or something.
Yeah,
which is because I think it's Elden Ring Night Rain. I'll be like versing the boss and we'll all go down and I'll be fuming because it's sort of 40 minutes wasted. And she'll be like, why don't you just get good? And you're like, it's not about that.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
Part 1.
Yes, part 1.
Of 3.
So have you done, no, I think there's only 2 parts. Part 1 and 2.
Oh.
But
aren't there 3 games?
Nah, 2.
Are there only 2 games?
I'm pretty sure only 2. With the part 1, so I think you probably would have played a redone, updated version, not
like a remastered.
Yeah.
I'm sure. When did it originally come out? 2015?
A while ago now.
Okay, 2013. Looks like they did the remaster 2014. I played a 2015 edition, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Surely you'd have played the remastered one.
Well, it was remastered in 2014.
Yeah. So did you play the OG or the remastered one?
It looked pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and say remastered.
Yeah. All right.
But you've played these as well, eh?
I have. Many moons ago. And really enjoyed them. They're fantastic. They're really fun games. The first one, I remember even when I played it, I felt, because I didn't play the remastered one, I played the OG one, going sort of a tiny bit janky at times.
Tiny bit janky, yeah.
But then you play the second one and it's a fantastic game and series. The show can go fuck itself though.
I had fucking a lot of fun playing this. So The Last of Us, you've definitely heard of it, if not in game form, certainly in TV form, or vice versa. It's the 2013 action-adventure game by Naughty Dog, published by my favourite company out there, Sony, which is why I had to wait 12 years to fucking play it.
I was like, is that sarcasm?
Hugely sarcasm.
Okay.
The Last of Us, yeah. So if you don't know, and look, you probably do, but I'll still do a very brief, holistic, high-level overview.
Yeah.
It's very apocalyptic, except it takes a little bit of a turn on the old zombie style. They're not kind of zombies because they've died or any of this. It's actually like fungus. So there's actually a type of fungus out there that takes control of its host, gets them to react and act erratically.
Yeah.
And essentially the depiction of them in The Last of Us is very aggressive, going after the human race, wiping everyone out, killing everyone.
One thing I really like about the premise of these games is and I could be corrected wrong on this, but I believe from my memory, scientists have said that fungus, if unchecked, could be of huge sort of
concern.
Yeah, for humanity. Because of this kind of stuff.
I saw a video, which they seem to be reliable scientists and sources, where they were talking about this.
Might have been AI. Who the fuck knows these days?
And I think, that's fucking true. I think The Last of Us kind of brought this to the forefront because it's actually an idea that there's maybe pretty close to home.
Chance, which makes the games really grounded. I like a game where you're like, it's a chance.
Yeah.
A slim chance, but it's a chance there. Not sort of I don't know, I'm trying to think of another game with Grounded. You're not going to get shrunk to a micro.
No, it's actually fucking, it's 2 steps over. There's a fine line between The Last of Us and where we're at currently right now.
Yeah.
But the host asks is this possible? And the scientist goes, well, no, because fungus literally can't actually survive in the human body because our body temperatures are too high. But what we do know is that life on this planet adapts. And
if it makes that slight fungus genome switch up.
Yeah, if this type of fungi was to adapt to a higher temperature, it could actually hypothetically survive in the human body. And I don't know, is that possible? You got to ask yourself the question, with global warming, if it keeps getting hotter, will it happen? So it's actually oh, wait, what did he say? You're actually kind of wait a minute, are you saying that are we heading there?
We are 5 years away from a Last of Us situation.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the game, because what the fuck do we know about science? The storyline. You play essentially a father who's lost a lot. His name's Joel. He's navigating his way through this apocalypse. How the game navigates a storyline is there's kind of a few scenes at the beginning of the apocalypse when it's all starting. You play through that, but then it certainly jumps about 15 years into the future where you're Joel. You've kind of suffered the losses of that initial apocalypse as
Yeah.
it was. You are established in some sort of community that's, you know, almost authoritarian.
Yeah.
You run into a girl named Ellie. She's essentially immune. There's
That's
no
right, that's
spoilers
right.
here. These are given to you very early on. If you haven't
to be
played.
honest, man, a
It's
game
12
fucking
years
from
on, exactly.
2013 and with the TV show, spoil away.
Yeah, you've got to transport her across the city to a lab where they can do tests, hopefully find a cure.
Yeah.
That is the fucking storyline.
Yeah.
And it's an incredibly fun storyline to play.
Yeah.
Because the beautiful thing about apocalypses, and we saw this in like The Walking Dead and we've seen it in The Last of Us, is the
beautiful thing
from a gaming perspective is it's not just about the zombies. Like we see kind of people's darkest nature come out and the way we take advantage of these situations, the way people sprout off and start their own little militias that have their own little...
I don't know what it is about, like, you know, even watching the TV show, I had this thought of going, why is it every time there's a fucking apocalypse, there's some religious fucking nutty zealots? It's like, okay, I get if there's going to be some like Christian, Muslim, Jewish, like, you know, maybe a little bit more extreme kind of thing.
Yeah.
But to go like full boil, like we believe in the, you know, the clan or whatever, and they're all cutting themselves and shit like that. And you're just like, bro, like all of you, a lot of you were alive when society was there. You went to school, you grew up, you have a baseline knowledge of like, you know, treating other people. And then within a year, you're like, it's sacrifice them all. You're like, what the hell?
It's like paradoxically, the shortcoming of human intelligence that we're so smart, we know where we came from and we don't know where we go. So like we need to operate in this realm that has a why. And I think that like when societal structures collapse that are kind of giving you that why, people fucking turn to extreme measures to try and justify.
Yeah, like, I mean, are you trying to, I mean, you know,
do you know what I mean?
You're put in those situations where it's like, okay, I'm either safe with these crazy nutbags or I'm on my own. Like my next meal is guaranteed, but I'm eating another human being or some fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, this, you know, that's the question you're asking yourself.
Man, and Einstein once defined intelligence as the ability to adapt. So I don't know if people truly believe in the things they believe when shit hits the fan, or if they're just trying to adapt and survive.
Where did you pull that quote from? Do you have that written down somewhere, or you did that off the dome?
Off the dome.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, I'm going to weave this quote in somehow.
You doubt me, motherfuckers. Listening right now. Everyone go to Google now.
You just bibliographied. I was like, where did you get that from?
One of his famous quotes. And I kind of agree with it to a point.
The ability to adapt.
Now, anyway, the whole point here was that the storyline, that is the storyline. You're transporting her, but the challenges that you run into because of this storyline, it's not only you escaping zombies and escaping things that literally want to bite your throat out, but you're also trying to escape humanity fucking constantly, because people that are outside of these communes are very opportunistic. They often kind of, you know, live a life of vice. All fucking decorum's gone out the window.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to run into, if you've ever watched The Walking Dead, or even if you've watched The Last of Us, you're going to run into cannibals. You're going to run into people that are kind of selling you off, or like, you know, you know, hunters, what they call hunters in the game. So like the storyline sets up so many great avenues for you to kind of navigate in the game. And it's all time. I'll do ratings at the end.
Okay.
Feel the mechanics.
Yeah.
Let's bring the bar down slightly, because you used the word janky before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd use the word janky, but what I would say is this.
I think in the remaster, I'm sure it was tighter, but the OG
I don't know.
one,
I don't know what the OG was like, but even the remaster was, how I describe it, a bit of a lesson. And for a number of reasons. The first reason was it really strays away from the shooter layout that we have gotten so used to on controller.
Right.
Like, Y isn't change gun, you know, X isn't reload.
Yeah.
You know, like RB and your bumpers, they're not big or small attack, or like, you know, push down isn't crouch or melee. It's all fucked.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not a huge fan of when a game tells me how to play a game. I like to go in, I like to do my button mapping. But it didn't kind of go about this in a great way. Also, other things I noticed is I think changing shoulders could have been a lot easier. Sometimes it was really hard to see around corners, which is fucking important in this game.
It is.
Because the NPCs are so human-like. They see you immediately.
Yeah.
Crouching was sometimes difficult, especially when trying to sneak past infected. Like there was no real way to kind of slow down your movement, but that's what the game wanted you to do to not be heard.
Yeah.
Gripping on walls was difficult. I think Assassin's Creed does that really well. Could have been done a lot better in this game. Once you mastered it, though, it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
In terms of feedback, I think that this game could have really benefited from a weapon wheel. Like changing weapons is really hard. In fact, one of the upgrades in the game is to get a second holster where you can quick change between 4 weapons. But like throughout the game, you carry like 10. So a lot of the time when I died, it was because I just couldn't. And like I don't know if they wanted that to
I feel like they did
play
want that
into
for
the realism of the game.
Yeah.
I get that, but like selecting the weapon shouldn't have been the realistic part. Pulling it out should have been. You know, taking the backpack off and getting the gun out. That part of the mechanical build of weapon changing could have been still realistic with the weapon wheel.
So what you're saying is like there's still only a max capacity of 4, but it's on a quick weapon wheel instead of, you know, because sometimes you go weapon wheel and it's like there's 16 fucking variations and you just GTA pulling them out of nowhere.
Yeah, see, that's what this game does really well. You don't just pull them out of nowhere. You take your backpack off, you pull the gun out, you get it. I got no problem with that. That's all good. I love that level of realism. But
that's
to change,
that's fair.
To change weapon, I had to go right D-pad, hold X, and then scroll down to the gun and then let go of X. That's how you changed.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how long it's been since anyone's played this game, but that's how you change fucking weapons. And like, if you ever, and this is probably my fault, but if you ever, God forbid, switched to a gun you hadn't reloaded yet, you were dead, which I actually liked. But like,
that's good. That is,
I do, yeah. But look, feel mechanics, I think one of the pillars that certainly lets the game down. They could have done a lot more here. As I said, once you mastered it, which I don't believe you should have to master how a game is played on a controller before you can enjoy it, but that's definitely what this game is. You had to get good at it before you could enjoy sneaking around.
I think you got a valid point on that one. I think the only devil's advocate I give to you is the feel side of like when you headshot or the feedback on it was always really nice. So it's like, you know, in the bow and arrow, you sort of go, you know, and it hits somebody a little ways away. And the aiming was not. I remember it being like a little. There's a sway to it.
Oh my God, it was huge.
You know, yeah.
The sway. Like, you know what's funny as well is like normal handguns, the sway was huge, but then you can put a scope on your rifle, and once you scoped, no sway. So like consistency wasn't a thing, but I liked that element of realism. It took a second to get used to. Aiming initially is fucked,
It is,
mate.
yeah. You're sort of all over the shop. But I mean, even if you put a scope on it, you know, I mean, we're not playing fucking sniper, whatever. No. Like, I think sometimes you go, okay, the realism does cap out.
Yeah.
But I mean, watching some people play those games, I mean, The Last of Us 2 clips, always, I love watching that. When you're on the Instagram scroll and you see somebody who's played that game probably to oblivion and they're sliding around and throwing bottles and sneaking up and killing people, you're like, it's sick when it works.
That's what I said. Like when I mastered it, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
and like
satisfying.
You'd have these runs in an area where you'd like, you know, you'd shiv one guy quietly and then you'd throw a distraction and then you'd bow someone in the back of the head and then 2 would come at you and you'd Molotov them and you'd be like, that was a beautiful run through that area. And that the game allows that to be created through its realism. So big fan, but few of the things in field mechanics could have been done better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, fair.
Challenge and entertainment. Such a good pillar here in this game. Like the challenge and entertainment in this game is fucking endless. The first thing that I think that they do really, really well, and I think that a lot of other zombie games have missed, especially things like Left 4 Dead and Dying Light, is that you're not invincible in this game.
No.
You are outnumbered.
Yeah. Everything
around you is a genuine monster, and if you go about it the wrong way, you will fucking die.
Yeah.
This isn't like here's an AK-47, have fun.
Yeah.
It's not a COD. You've got a wave of zombies out here.
Yeah.
Your gun's powerful. You're going to mow through 50 of them. It's like, no, you can maybe handle three tickers or a couple of those runners and one bloater at once.
Max, yeah.
If you are too loud in an area, you just have no chance.
Yeah.
So you die a lot in this game. It's rather hard and overwhelming. You need to use your environment like really fucking well.
Yeah.
You're scarce on resources, which you have to continuously loot. And the realism, once again, they brought it in beautifully. Like you can't just, there isn't really a dodge. You can upgrade your melee weapon so that if a zombie gets super close to you, I call
That's
them
right.
infected. If an infected gets super close to you, you can one-shot them, but then that's been used.
Yeah.
So you only have really one escape card every fight.
Yeah.
You can't really dodge. So if they get too close to you, they will bite your throat out. Like the other part of it was when I was versing humans, like how real the NPCs are was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
The conversations they're having, how they scout out areas when they discover someone that you've murdered quietly.
Yeah.
Their line of sight, they will see you if you expose yourself like a real fucking human would.
Yeah.
The way they behave in terms of trying to sneak up on you, and the way they shoot their guns and hide as well. And it was such a really nice, realistic experience from both the zombie side and the human side. And in this game, there's actually a listen mode where you can kind of see the silhouettes of people through walls. If you haven't played this game, or maybe you have and you're thinking of going back to it, my advice to you would be play it on your PC if you can. Don't play it on TV so you're nice and close. Wear your headset. Make sure you got a headset that can hear footsteps really nicely, and never use listen mode. You will have the most enjoyable, realistic gaming experience you've ever had because you can't see through walls.
Yeah.
Like there was some time, so I started doing that about halfway through this game, and I'd run around a corner and there'd be a guy approaching me, and I'd have to like pivot and adapt, and it was just so much fun. I think the challenge and entertainment in this game, they absolutely nailed.
Mate, I mean, like, obviously you're going to play this next, but like The Last of Us Part 2, like everything that you enjoyed about this game dials up in the next. Obviously we're only 2 ways through the pillars, but even the sort of, they tighten up the flow of, and there's no jankiness and all the other elements of it. But like when I remember playing it, and like the NPCs as well, those conversations, like you'd hear them, and it's like there's like a family and they're all friends and stuff, and then you're just trying to sneak through or whatever, and then one of them's like, oh, like get her, like fucking kill her or something, and then you're forced to like murder this like just other survivors just because they want to kill you.
Yeah. And I remember showing a clip to Kyle, and he's like, I see you're killing a lot of real life people in this. And I'm like, they give you no fucking choice. And you like to think that if we actually went through an apocalypse, it'd be different, but you would become so distrusting of people, especially look what happened with toilet paper and COVID, mate. You max that up. People are out for themselves. I think it's such a realistic portrayal of it, and like, fuck, it was so much fun. Character dev and build. I'll talk to character development too, because as you know about the storyline, it's most often Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
And the character arc that they both go on is like pretty phenomenal. Like you do run into a couple of other people and you try to form this little mini group, but Joel kind of prefaces surviving in an environment like this as like, the smaller group you are, the better chance you have, kind of. And so people come in and out of the game, but the main character development that sticks with you is how Joel kind of, a father that is still dealing, or a previous father that is kind of still dealing with the loss that he went through during the apocalypse, now kind of has no choice but to look after another young girl, which loosely represents the age of his daughter at the time, and everything like that. And they start off hating each other, and eventually by the end, they go through the journey. He almost becomes a surrogate, and they grow to kind of like love one another. They save each other on multiple occasions, and they build this like really nice, easy to follow and get along with relationship. And you fear the moments where it looks like one of them's not going to make it, because you're like, firstly, I like playing as both of you. It's actually hella fun jumping between the two of you. Yeah. But also the way they tie the storyline in, that there's so much inhuman stuff going on, but at the same time you have this incredible like relationship between them, two almost opposite personalities. It's just so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why they turned it into a TV show. Yeah. You're hitting it on the nail on the head. Like their relationship was, fantastic, really well done. I mean, sort of obviously the first game does closely represent the first season of the show. It
does actually quite a bit. Yeah. It's really close.
And obviously I don't want to sidetrack us into talking about the show, but like they did a good job of forging that relationship in the show. I just found the girl they cast for the young Ellie broke the immersion more often than not for me.
A little bit, yeah. They should have just cast the girl that did all the acting for the games.
Yeah, I think I said it in the last episode. Anyway, keep going. All right.
The other side of this is build. So good. And it encapsulates my kind of the thing I support of like less is more.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, every episode, I'm going to put it on my bingo card. T will say less is more without fail.
I would love for you to do a bingo card during a podcast episode and see how many of these things I say.
You let us know.
Which is funny because it's not something it's not a hill I die on. Like I love Elden Ring, which is not less is more. That is more is more.
So what about Last of Us 1 is the less is more?
Well, the first thing that you've got to kind of go into this conversation with is the fact that everything is scarce. So how much more can you really have in a world where there's not much left? But still, you look in terms of the build, the weapons are fucking amazing. Like the game gives you weapons to navigate different environments and situations in. It's like if you want to do stealth, here's a bow and arrow. Make shivs. We'll give you bricks and bottles all along the ground if you want to distract people. Like we're going to enable you to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to go loud, no worries. Here's a couple of handguns. Here's a big shotgun.
Yeah.
Here's a rifle. If you want to go like aggro fun, here's a Molotov.
Yeah.
Here's a shrapnel bomb. So like every moment in this, and granted, you only get most of those weapons by the time you're halfway through.
Yeah.
But that is less is more to me. You only have a handful of guns. You don't have any superpowers or abilities and things like that.
Right.
And they suit the environment. The other part of this is that you can't really upgrade a human. Like we've spoken about this. Like character build's a huge thing, but a lot of the games that we play, they're futuristic or they're people with superpowers or they're they're
Dead Space,
mages.
you got a suit on or whatever it is. Yeah.
Joel and Ellie are humans.
Yeah.
But they still navigate it so well. Throughout the world, you can find pills.
Yeah.
So you can have little upgrades to yourself like double health or less sway on your guns or you make less noise.
Are they time-based
you can hear further and stuff like that.
Are they full upgrades that like last the whole game or is
they
it just
full
like...
upgrades that last the whole game. Yeah. And then there was the weapon upgrades side of it where you find bolts and nuts throughout all these houses that you scavenge, and if you get 100 of them, you can stop a particular weapon having a certain amount of sway, or you can give it more ammo, extended magazines, and things like that. So, like it was there, the upgrades were there, they were realistic, they were rolled out at a really great cadence, they made a substantial difference, and the best part of it is they weren't just given to you; you had to do scavenging to find them. Yeah, and. So in terms of the journey they go on together and how you also grow as an in-game character gamer player. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Another really strong pillar.
Yeah, it was. It is. The realism part about it, they do it to such a good way, of the accumulating just additional tools for their arsenal.
That's it.
It's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, such a smart way. Last one, loot and extras. In terms of loot, we've covered it off. Most of it's the things that you find that you can build and consume or add to your guns or upgrade your character. There are some other things out there. There's Firefly chains. I haven't collected all of them. Don't know what you get rewarded for if you do. The game briefly mentions different character outfits and skins.
If it's cosmetics.
Cosmetics. Look, that's kind of a loot and extra. Yeah, I wouldn't waste my time. This game's not about that. You don't care how they look. This game's about the gameplay and the storyline. But one thing I liked in the terms of loot and extras is you find letters scattered throughout the world of survivors and you learn a couple of different stories of people that found a bunker somewhere, and they're keeping a journal and really quickly throughout maybe the course of like 3 missions, the game unravels this story of these people in the area you're going through. Yeah. And like it's so entertaining to find out how different people met their demise. Yeah. You also find little voice recordings of scientists that have been trying to cure things. It's so good. And another little extra point was like the small things in this game are really good. Like when Joel's working on his gun, like it's not like you just upgrade it and it's done. He actually fucking takes it apart, polishes the barrel, puts the barrel back on. Yeah. They would have recorded someone actually just dismantling guns to do that. Yeah. And like that's another little extra bit that is just so good to me. So they're the pillars.
They're the pillars. And so what did you think of the ending, the twist ending? I mean, it's not really, I guess, so much of a twist. Well, there is a twist there.
I think the ending, and I won't do the spoiler here.
Well, honestly, man, I think you're fine. There's a TV show. There's a game.
I think the ending.
If you haven't played
fair.
it and you don't want to know, stop listening now and tune in again in about 4 minutes.
I think it's fair. I think the ending's really, really good because it shows his development as a character. Originally, he does not care. He just wants to offload this girl. He doesn't fucking. He just wants to live out his days in the commune, drinking a little bit, killing zombies, and fucking die. And by the end of it, he is literally faced with the decision to either, hey, start this ripple of saving humanity or save a girl.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with his decisions, which is such good story making and such good writing, but it shows how far he came and how far his relationship came with that girl.
So let's say you're in that situation, massive hypothetical. The doctor comes up to you and says, as it occurs in the game, in the show, look, we've got to kill her to get the brain scan, to get the DNA, all the rest of it. I feel like my reaction would be like, okay.
I'd be like, every time I'd be like, yes, kill her.
So humanity is saved. I mean, I like her. Can I say goodbye?
And like the girl that's
so
the Firefly leader that's trying to beg with him the whole time to like just stop.
Chill, yeah.
Yeah, just chill.
What I don't get is why the fuck did they tell him? Like, I guess they just assumed he'd be fine with it because the question is, and most people probably would say humanity or one young girl. I mean, that's the fucking tram on the train line's moral conundrum all the time. It's like, do you kill the old person or the young person? You can play out these moral hypotheticals all the time. And then it's also your choice. Do you have a responsibility within it?
Yeah.
It gets fairly into it. But I just don't know why they fucking told him. Why they take the risk?
Yeah.
They should have gone, we did the procedure, Joel.
It's done, actually.
We did the procedure.
Sedate him.
Accidentally, she died on the table.
Yeah.
And, no fault of anybody's, but humanity's now saved. Joel would be beside himself upset after the fact. And maybe he finds out one day.
Maybe he can't live with himself either, but that is a small drop in an ocean.
The risk, you'd play out the risk mitigation all the time of going, do we tell him or don't we tell him? And that person who's trying to weather him would go, don't fucking tell him.
Also, the ethical conundrum that he completely disregards is the fact that he killed hundreds of people to potentially get to this point where he can save humanity. And the fact that one more is too much for him is like, wait a minute, you are completely contradicting yourself here. You have justified your behavior for this entire storyline. Yeah. Kill and protect her at all costs because of this, because she could be the saving grace. And now that it's just her life,
he doesn't even,
the selfish motivations of him are hard to get behind.
Well, yeah. I think in the second game, it does play out a bit. Like, from memory, he does carry a fair amount of weight for that decision he makes. It's not just like he's, we got away with it. He feels pretty fucking bad about it.
Can't wait. But also, she makes a great point when she's talking to him. She's like, look, you could walk out of here and you both get mauled and eaten alive. Like, don't take that chance. Yeah. And that's actually, can you imagine if they left and she just got instantly run over or something? Yeah. Like, you'd be like, it's a holy grail in front of him. He makes absolutely 100 times out of 100 the wrong decision, for sure.
Yeah, it's a bit, obviously there's no sequel, if he doesn't make that decision.
So true.
And I mean the whole, okay, I'm going into the second game too much.
Should we do the ratings?
Do it.
Storyline, 10.
Yeah. Agreed.
Can't fault it. So good. So well done. Makes sense. On the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
Field mechanics, 7.8. I mentioned a number of things I could have done a bit better, but it's still, once mastered, flowed pretty well. I went to give it an 8 and was like, that's a cop-out rating. It's more like a 7.5, and then landed on 7.8.
Okay, I won't split hairs with you. I mean, it's 2013 game. Anyway, whatever.
Challenge and entertainment, 9.5.
Yeah. Character
development and build, 8.8. I think they did really, really well. Probably could have done some things better.
Okay.
Loot and extras, 9.2.
8.8 so specific.
Yeah, you like whole rounded numbers and half intervals, like 8.5. Half interval, but
okay.
I go true representation.
Where did it lose the 0.2? Anyway, well.
Somewhere in my last 40-minute spiel about it, there will be 0.2 of marking.
What was the last one you gave?
9.2 loot and extras.
For loot and extras. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, fair.
Score 9.06.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
that's 7.8. Really hurt it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a 9. it's one of such a great game. Like Sony knocked it out of the park through that whole period. They ran through just banger after banger of the Uncharted's, the Spider-Man's, the God of War, Last of Us. Like they just had a whole number of really top tier games, and yeah, Last of Us is just phenomenal.
Yeah, this was an incredible game. Huge release. Well done.
I'm looking forward to when you get into the second one. I'd be recommending you if you've downloaded fucking Doom Dark Ages, pie that off for part 2 and just go the whole way through. Because honestly, when I went back and did it, when I finished the first one, I was like, now like the second one is, if you give it like a 9.08 or whatever it was, the second one is. Like, I don't want to, I oftentimes, if you recommend something so much and it doesn't vibe with a person, they're like, you sort of have overhyped it. But like, I don't feel you can hype it enough. Like, it is just such a game.
Can't wait, eh? Like, such a good game. Had endless amounts of fun. Loved it. 9.06. What a label. What a title.
Phenomenal.
I think that was one of my better reviews.
Should we review your review on the pod? Do it post. I've got a TV show recommendation. I sort of enjoy giving my recommendations out, and I hopefully one day, Taylor, you'll actually listen to one of my recommendations.
Oh, fuck off. I've watched so many things you've suggested. Are you kidding?
Pantheon. Watch
Silo.
Pantheon.
I've been thinking
Silo's
about Pantheon.
Good as well.
Oh, you got me onto Severance, Rick and Morty,
right.
Silo. Game of Thrones. You originally
did I do?
Yeah, you and old mate got me into Game of
my
Thrones.
memory is not the best.
No, it's
and
not.
I've long since forgotten
all
of those recommendations.
You know who doesn't take on recommendations though?
Me.
You. Yeah, you. Fucking you.
It did make me laugh the other day. What did I say? I texted in our group chat going like, everybody should watch The Pit, and that is my recommendation I'm about to give to our listeners. The Pit on Max. And this is a little bit off the beating track, like in the sense that it's, this isn't an animated thing. It's not a gaming thing. It's not, a Last of Us or this. This is like a medical drama that follows an ER somewhere in America over 12 hours or something like that. And I put it on just because I'd heard it was good. It was rated well. I was like, I'll give it a watch. Hooked so hard. Wow. Watched all 12 episodes, because every episode is 1 hour in this ER. And I don't want to I really won't ruin it. But I just, honestly, when I finished that, I sat back and I was just like, that really fucking
gets ya.
Yeah. Heart in your mouth so many times.
How good. The Pit
Phenomenal.
and Pantheon.
Pit and Pantheon, trust me, it's good shit.
If you're after a horror movie this week, I watched one last night called Double Blind. It's about experiments for a new pill, and it's very horror thriller. It was really great psychological horror.
Okay, nice.
Double Blind.
I
think it was on Amazon for free.
Fuck yeah, nice.
Really good. We've done it again.
Yeah, just one and done.
48?
Ep 48.
What should we do for the 50th?
I think what we should do for the 50th is get all the people who have done cameos. We should get everybody together. We should get Ollie, get Ali, get Kyle, hell, even get fucking Andrew the mug on, and we'll
I don't
make
know if we have that
thing.
many microphones.
Well, yeah, but just more for the tomfoolery of it all. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. We got to do something for the 50th.
That's it. Thank you for rating us. I think we're up to 51 now. Someone listen.
Hey, somebody reviewed.
Thanks so much, everyone that's done that. Email us, info@theeveninggamer.com.au. Most of our handles are The Evening Gamer Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, I believe, these days. We've also got a Facebook. I don't check it that often, though. Review.
Yeah.
Leave us comments. Email in. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know what we should play. Let us know if you agree or disagree. I'm sort of, obviously, Last of Us is a bit of a back catalogue. Probably most people know this one, whether you agree with us or not. It's a great game.
That's it. But most importantly, don't be an NPC.
Keep leveling up, everyone.
I was about to say keep leveling up. I see you getting really annoyed. Thanks, everyone.